Hey guys, your crazy coach lady Amanda Trombley here, and thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video. Please drop your comments below so we can get serious and join together to embrace, evolve, and transcend our way of living, believing, and being. Today we are talking about 2 proven ways to reprogram your mind and make 2020 your year of consistent transformation. I am so excited to be talking about this here with you guys today because human nature makes transformation so complicated, and so many of us are stuck in this continuous cycle of distraction and misdirection that continuously keep us from getting our desires, our greatest desires, from achieving that ultimate mind, body, and soul transformation that we so want. So in this video today, we're going to be talking a little bit about the subconscious mind and the conscious creative mind, and we're going to be focusing on the 2 proven tactics that we can use to actually knock our subconscious mind into direction with our conscious creative mind, so we really can be all, achieve all, and feel all that we ultimately desire to be. So let's just go ahead and let's jump right into it. Your mind is an expression of your mental programs. That is just a fact of life. Your mind is an expression of your mental programs. And because your mind is this expression of your mental programs, your life is the representation that these mental programs hold true. 95% of your behavior comes from your subconscious programs, which means that if your mind is a result of your programming, and your life is a result of this programming, and this programming is 95% built up of a subconscious means, but we are not living from the subconscious mind, we are going to be constantly disaligned with what we truly desire to have. And in order to achieve our greatest desires, in order to really get those huge aspirations that we've been aiming for, whether they be physical, financial, or emotional, we have to actually put ourselves in direct alignment with our subconscious or our non-conscious mind. And this design isn't as complicated as it sounds, and it's not as complicated as we make it. What happens, what so many of us struggle with, is we write out our beliefs, we begin to step into action, and then we get into this habit of misdirection, of distraction, and disalignment. And so we're constantly looking for a little bit more, we're constantly trying to grow a little bit more, and we're always falling short and falling behind on exactly what we desire to do. And there's a very clear-cut reason as to why this is. Our conscious creative mind and our subconscious mind are absolutely not one and the same. So you and me and the rest of the conscious collective, we live in our conscious creative mind. That's what allows us to get up in the morning. That's what tells us to get ready for work, for school. That's where we live our daily lives in, is this conscious creative mind. And the conscious creative mind, although we need it because it is who we are and it is what we are doing, it learns through self-help. It learns through visual seeing. It learns through audible learning. It learns through life experiences. This is the reason why, to give you a little bit example, when you watch a movie, a really inspiring, aspirational movie, and you're like, wow, and you begin to take some of those things from the movie and you begin to implement them into your life, that is your conscious creative mind going to work. When you're scrolling through social media and you stumble upon a really inspirational person who has A, B, and C tips and tricks and tools to get through this or to get through that, you are using your conscious creative mind to use self-help to learn and change your behavior. Now, this is wonderful, and this is how the majority of us learn, but the major problem with this is that in order to affect long-term change, in order to be all that we want to be, and in order to stop taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back, we have to not only live in our conscious creative mind, but we have to live in our subconscious mind. So our conscious creative mind uses self-help, visual and audible life experiences around us to learn, change, and grow, and create our behaviors, which essentially create our mind, or which to change our behaviors, which essentially create our lives. Now, the subconscious mind learns completely different. The subconscious mind learns in two specific ways. The one way that it learns is by habits being reinforced. And this is why for so many of us when we're on our journey, we find that developing a routine that is consistent helps make those lifelong changes. If you followed me for a while, you know that I am huge on developing a philosophy for life that allows you to take into account and to make it true that small, meaningless actions over time make massive life impacts. And that's true both in the positive and negative. The reason that that is true is because one of the ways that your subconscious learns is through habit-forming behaviors. So, in example, when we're looking at this at whole, when we're looking at habit-forming behaviors and how the subconscious mind looks at, let's look at weight loss or weight gain for an example. If you eat a cheeseburger every day for the next 3 months, you are going to pack on a pound. You are going to pack on a couple of pounds. If you eat a cheeseburger every day for the next 3 years, you are probably going to not only be dealing with a weight gain, but also be dealing with a health crisis at this point as well. Whether it be an overactive blood sugar or high cholesterol or something like that, your small daily action of a cheeseburger a day, compacted over time, made a massive lifestyle difference. It caused you to not only be overweight, but to be dealing with significant health crisis. Now, this works exactly the opposite in a positive side. If you work out for 5 minutes every single day, in a week, in a month, you're probably not going to see much difference. But within 3 months, you're going to see that your clothes are fitting a little bit better. And if you were to work 5 minutes a day for the next 3 years, you'd be noticing that you had a lot clearer mind, you were less bloated, and you were really beginning to feel good about yourself as the weight continued to fall off and your health issues started working out. So this is one way that the subconscious mind works, by habit-forming behaviors. So you have your conscious creative mind that learns through life experiences, and then you have your subconscious mind that learns through habit-forming things. The problem with focusing all of our attention in creating or lessening the gap between our subconscious mind and our conscious creative mind is that habit-forming rituals are very difficult. They're very difficult to stick to, and we as the human collective have this issue of distraction, to where we get distracted very easily with this or that, to where we get a little too busy or a little too tired, we get a little too lazy or a little too overwhelmed, and all of those habit-forming rituals go out the window, and we stop operating from a state of our subconscious mind, and we go back to simply operating in our conscious creative mind. So the second way that the subconscious mind operates, and the most powerful way, and a huge part of the reason why we are have such a hard time creating habits and our conscious creative mind isn't giving us the desires that we want, is that the subconscious mind learns through hypnosis. Not only does it learn through habit, but it also learns through hypnosis. And so here's some really crazy cool facts that bring this to life. When you have several different frequencies that your brain operates at. Depending on the time of day that you're at, depending on your age, your brain operates on different frequencies. And from 0 to 6 or 7 years old, your brain actually operates on the theta wave. And this theta wave is equal to a state of hypnosis. And so from 0 to 6, 7-ish years old, your brain is constantly living in a state of hypnosis, which is why so many professionals say that the first 0 to 4, 0 to 6 lives are the most important time of a child's life, because it's very true. This is the time of your life where your programs are set into your subconscious. When you are operating at a theta wavelength in your brain, you are completely 100% open to hypnosis at every single time. And so all of those things that you learned as a child, whether they be beautiful or not so beautiful, have become operating forms or programs in your brain that you are living by due to your ability to be in a constant state of hypnosis. Now, the really amazing thing is we can't go back to 0 to 6. And as soon as we age up 7 and above, our brains stop operating at this theta level except for 2 times a day. 7 and above, we hit a new wavelength where our subconscious mind no longer is operating and we're no longer put in a place of hypnosis through all of our experiences. Again, this is where our conscious creative mind takes over and we start learning through experiences. We start learning through habits being formed, and we no longer are learning through hypnosis because we are no longer spending all of our waking hours in this theta wave, in this hypnosis wave. But the beautiful thing is here is 2 points of every single day you do hit this theta wave. You do have a time for self-hypnosis, 2 periods of every single day. As we're awake and we're alive and we're, going about our daily lives, we are in a wavelength of alpha. And this wavelength allows our conscious creative mind to surface and to experience and to learn and grow this way. And as we begin to fall asleep, as we have that very twilight hour where we're slowing down and we're preparing for sleep, we once again hit the theta wave. And as we move into a little bit of a non-conscious awareness, we go into delta, and then we finally fall asleep. And so during our day, we're stuck in this alpha conscious, creative conscious wavelength where we're operating from that. But after we slow down and we begin to settle in and we're lying down and our eyes are closed and we're settling into a sleep, we at that point get to that theta wave again where hypnosis is its most powerful. That's why if you've ever experienced hypnosis or if you've seen a therapist or you've looked at this stuff, they always put you into a meditative trance before they do anything. Even in the movies, even in the magician shows, even in the things that aren't super powerful but more for play, they still put you in a meditative state because they need to activate that theta wavelength before you can truly be hypnotized. Now the same happens as we wake up. When we first wake up, we're in that delta wavelength where we're just coming out of that deep sleep and we're waking up, and then right before we hit alpha again and we're springing for the mountains and up and around and moving, we once again hit theta, where we can have the strongest sense of hypnosis during this time. So in order to change our behaviors so they directly align with our biggest desires, in order to reprogram all of the programs that we have been living with from 0 to 6, 0 to 7, we must be not only learning through our conscious creative mind through experiences and not only activating our subconscious mind by forming habits, but also activating our subconscious mind through hypnosis so that we are taking all of the ammunition as we possibly can in order to reprogram what is within us so that we truly can live the desires that we want. So, during these 2 times of the day, right before you're falling asleep and right as you're waking up, these are the most important times to begin to reprogram your brain through a little bit of hypnosis. Now, there's 100 different YouTube videos out there. There's 100 different programs out there. There's a million different ways that you can use this time of night and early morning to begin to hypnotize yourself into recreating the programs. But this is the time of day and night that you want to be actively or subconsciously engaging your mind in the new programs in which you desire. So this looks like if you are really struggling with changing your mindset around money. And you've started budgeting and you've, written out your limiting beliefs and you've, added yourself to a couple groups and you've done all these different things to really change your mindset around money, but nothing's really working. You want to use this theta wave time to begin to subconsciously reprogram your mindset around money. So whether it be a podcast or a meditation or a YouTube channel star or a program at this time that allows your brainwaves lives to soak this in and receive a new program. And as habits form, continuous hypnosis in this area is sure to actually change not only your behavior, but actually your inside programs, which allows you to be a completely different person and operate on a completely different feeling, a completely different level than you were before. That's why when you see people, that's a common thing that you say after a lot of change. It's like, you're not even the same person that you were before. They're not the same person that they were before, because they didn't just do a little bit of limiting belief work. They didn't just write a couple gratitude lists and create a couple habits. They completely changed their reprogramming to operate on a completely different level. So they are essentially a new creation, a creation that goes after, achieves, and lives in the greatest desires of their heart. So, think about it this way. If it's a struggle for you, if you are struggling with something emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, if it's a struggle, it's not because you're stupid, it's not because you're weak, and it's not because you're taking all the wrong action or because you need to take some sort of better action. If it's a struggle for you, it's a bad programming. If it's a struggle for you, then what you are really dealing with is a bad subconscious programming, and it's your responsibility to step into your subconscious mind, to hypnotize it, to create new subconscious programming so that you can allow that to create and stem better habits that allow your creative conscious mind to build on through the experiences. You can cut out the 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or 1 step forward, 2 steps back by using these simple tricks to really get you there. So again, if it is a struggle, it is not because you are weak or stupid, or because you were raised the wrong way, or because you've had this trauma or that trauma. If it is a struggle, it's because your subconscious programming is off. And in order to change your direction in life, in order to achieve your greatest desires, we have to go back to the subconscious mind and change the programming that exists. Now, this doesn't mean after experiencing a significant trauma that you're going to be able to hypnotize yourself into being the happiest person alive, or that you're going to create habits that allow you to be the happiest person alive. But what this does mean is that you can change your programming to believe that this struggle is for you, that this struggle will help you grow, that this struggle will create beauty in your life, and you can actually use that programming to create a new reality for you of strength, confidence, security, financial peace, physical, yada, 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 yada. So, that's all I have for you guys for this video. Thanks so much for sticking with us here, for tuning in, and make sure again that you drop your comments below and let us know some of the areas that you are struggling with, how we can band together and help you, and what your plan is for making 2020 the best creative year of your life. See you next time.